Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. In this video today we're going to check out the Pimax Crystal for the very first time on the channel. I'm super excited about this, and I thought the best way to show my feelings about the headset is to record my first impressions, because those raw emotions, you can't really get those back. So come with me on this journey if you're interested. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a drink, and we'll get straight into this. So first of all, let's have a look at the unboxing process. I won't take too long over this, I promise. But this is the next generation Pimax headset, and I'll just talk about some of the key points here. This is a PC VR and standalone headset. It does both, with two hot swappable batteries included in the box, and they are 600 milliamp. And it's a good job too, because this is one of the factors that's quite a quirk of this headset. You're going to need to run the batteries in PC VR mode. Now that's something that does disappoint me, but I think it's a byproduct of the XR2 chipset, especially as it's providing the tracking. I'm not quite sure the technicalities behind that, but when it's all said and done, that is a limitation. So apart from that, the really exciting bit for me is the lenses are aspheric, just like the Vario Aero. And they are even interchangeable. You can choose between 35 and 42 ppd. Now the resolution of the panel, well, it's QLED by the way, so you're going to get much deeper blacks and vivid colours, is 2880 by 2880. Again, very similar to the much beloved Vario Aero. The only thing here though is that this headset has local dimming, and I will be testing that out in this video today. Another big party piece of the Pimax Crystal is it has inside out tracking with 4 cameras. That means no base stations and less cost. The headset is also very modular, with the ability to install a WiGig module down the road if you want to. And of course, if you don't like the inside-out tracking, you can even install a SteamVR 2.0 tracking faceplate as well. So, here it is, and my first impressions. Well, let's talk about the build quality first of all, because that's the first thing you notice, isn't it? Well, I would say it's okay. It hasn't blown me away like, say, the Vario Aero. It's definitely not quite as premium feeling. Not to mention, as you can see here, the controllers. And I think if you did drop the controllers, I don't think they would survive, to be honest. Or at least that ring seems very, very thin indeed to me. But, you know, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh there. Overall, I think the headset is definitely well put together, but it just doesn't wow me. It doesn't feel like a premium experience. I am actually surprised though how light this headset feels, considering it has a battery on the back. It feels very well balanced. I think it does look really cool. I think it's a very nice design. I'm really pleased they've got rid of that blue colour. I think the black makes it look more purposeful. So I think what we'll do now, I'm not going to make you wait any longer, because I want to power this up, see what it feels like in terms of its comfort, but also to look through those lenses for the very first time. So I'm going to switch microphones and use the microphone on the Crystal as well. That'd be a good test. And yeah, I'll see you in Microsoft Flight Simulator in a moment. Right then folks, here we go. We're finally in the sim in the Pimax Crystal. And straight away, you might ask yourself, why have I changed clothes? That is because this is a different day. Unfortunately, I had issues with the Crystal. I couldn't turn it on, so I had to reach out to Pimax. And thank you for the support, by the way, if you're watching this, because it was about midnight in China. But it did mean I had some issues to begin with, which isn't a good start. However, glossing over that the best we can, this is a amazing display. It looks absolutely beautiful in this thing. So crystal clear, pardon the pun. Those colours really pop out, even on the menu there. However, I will say there is Mura, and what that is panel inconsistencies. It's the pixels due to the manufacturing process, and it presents itself as a fogging of the lenses, and you can see it on a white background like this. Most headsets do have it to some extent, but I have to say OLED headsets are the worst, and this is a QLED panel, and you can definitely see it a lot clearer, but I don't think that's going to be much of a deal breaker, to be honest. But it is a bit of a shocker when you say come from the 8KX, which has basically no mirror at all. I would definitely recommend you get yourself a pair of DMAS speakers. I do know what they sound like already. That's why I didn't put mine on, because I wanted to try out the actual piped audio from the strap. But it's rubbish. Don't use it. I think that'll do for now. Let's now get into a flight, and we'll see how things go in terms of performance, field of view, clarity, all the rest of it. So I'll see you in a few moments' time. So we're going to take off from London City, and I'm just using a joystick. I'm not in my motion rig because I really want to just focus on the headset itself. And this is a PC breaker area. I've got the OpenXR Toolkit frame rate counter on, so I'll be able to tell you what sort of performance we're getting as well. This is really pushing my RTX 4090 to the limit, and it's taking ages to load just because I'm so excited. Come on, hurry up! But anyway, yeah, I'll probably talk about the headset as we're waiting for it to load. In terms of the field of view, well, yeah, it definitely is bigger. Here we go. Oh, hang on. Oh, this is... well, I didn't mean this to happen, but this is nighttime. Oh, wow, okay. Right, this is hitting me straight away in the face. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Holy that's really sharp. Properly sharp. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's sharper than the Vario Aero. That is sharper than the Vario Aero. Oh my god. That's just blown me away, that has, guys. I have no idea what I was about to say. But I'm just staring... Sorry, guys, you probably wonder what I'm doing. I'm literally just staring at all those dials there. The little sort of GPS unit there. Oh, yeah, that's a bit good, that. And suddenly, all the issues I had have disappeared. Well, they haven't disappeared. They're still annoying, but... And the frames I'm getting are actually quite low. Yeah, we're getting about 25 frames per second here. That's not great either, to be honest. So the frames are very, very low. I'm wondering whether that's because the Pimax lenses have to cope with barrel distortion more so than the Aero. So it's probably having to up the resolution more, if that makes sense. And looking out here right now as well, that is a very, very dark scene right there. Let's see, I think that's completely pitch black. Certainly feels like it. Hang on, let's just go a bit. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. That looks spectacular. Wow. Okay, let's go for flight here. Hang on, I just realised I don't have rudder. Yeah, that's annoying. Oh god. Right, let me get this sorted out, folks, and I'll be back in a second. Oops. This is what you get for our first impressions. I told you. Okay, what I've decided to do, folks, is load up the Honda Jet, which has one of the most tiniest displays known to man. Even in the Aero, you can read it, but it's really, really small text. So I thought that's a good idea to try that. I have to say, though, I was a bit shocked by the frames per second. It was very, very low. And bear in mind, we're using OpenXR. This is the Pimax XR runtime as well. But I was a bit shocked by those frames. That's where the 4090 was getting about 20-25 frames per second. So, yeah, that's not great. But in terms of the sharpness, folks, yeah, this is the new king of clarity. I was not expecting to say that at all. And I tell you what, when I was looking at that cockpit, all the other issues I've just experienced kind of was just fading into the background. Right, here we go again then. Oh, that is so sharp. That is amazingly sharp. Wow. Oh, that's breathtaking. That is properly jaw-dropping stuff, guys. Let's just, I mean, night mode looks amazing, but the local dimming, you can definitely tell. Job done there, without a doubt. It looks amazing. But let's just go to the... In fact, let's just see what we're rendering here, because I think we're rendering too many pixels. That might be down to the barrel distortion. So yeah, look, 4,312 by 5,102. So we probably could get away with even taking that back a little bit. Let's just try that, because we are at 22 frames per second, which is a bit bad. I mean, you know, I'm running fairly high settings, but in the Vari Aero, I'd be getting about 45, 50 with this situation here. Okay, so now we're now at 30 frames per second, and it still looks really sharp here. Super, super sharp. And in terms of the field of view, it is also a lot larger than the Aero. Without a doubt. I mean, it really is. I'm not saying that this is better than the Aero, guys. I'm not doing that video today. I will do a separate video of the Aero versus the Pimax, because I need to have some time with this headset. Oh, I've got no rudder, guys. This is a proper raw impression right now. Are we going to make it? Are we going to take off before hitting the bloody control tower? Yes, we did. Just. Right, okay. So yeah, right now, over London, we're getting 25 frames per second. So that is really, really low. Now, I have heard some people basically suggest to switch off the anti-aliasing. So we'll do that now, actually, because since the resolution is so high, we might not need that. So let's just take it off completely. Something I've never done, really, with MSFS. Right, well, that's interesting. I've taken off the AA. Yeah, there's definitely some shimmering. You can probably see that in the image. And I haven't lost... Sorry, I haven't gained any frames per second. Whoops, that's my cup of tea. Thankfully, it's empty. So yeah, that doesn't look very nice at all. So we'll go back to TAA mode. Right, so I've just gone back to TAA mode, and the frames are still the same. That hasn't made any difference to my 4090. I've got so many feelings at the moment, guys, with this headset. Like, on one hand, I'm frustrated with the problems of the headset. You know, it certainly doesn't feel ready to me, even though that, bear in mind, this is a 99% basically finished product, this headset. I've got the glass lenses as well, so this is the headset you're going to get if you pre-ordered it, pretty much. So I'm a bit frustrated that things are still feeling quite, you know, rough around the edges, to say the least. But then the visuals I'm seeing right now are absolutely insane. Like, very, very sharp. This looks like the clarity of the Aero at 39 pixels per degree. Perhaps a bit more than that, but with a lot less performance, say 50% less performance. But there is a few things that I would like to point out. For instance, there is a lot less chromatic aberration in this. In fact, I can't see any, which, I mean, it must be there. Let's have a look here. Yeah, there is. Right at the bottom of the lens, there's some sort of bluing around the edge of that glass. And at the far outer edges of the field of view, it does kind of go a little bit brownish. But I mean, that's very minimal. So that's not too bad. In terms of the Miura, it's definitely less of an issue than I thought. Looking at that blue sky, it looks really clear to me. I can see it a little bit, but that's not an issue. So, in my opinion, Miura is not a problem. Field of view, yeah, it is very nice, actually. This is a very nice field of view. I can't get over the clarity. I was not expecting that. That truly blew me away. I was expecting it to look like the Aero, you know? But no, this is sharper. It is sharper. Let's just pull the lights down again, guys, because I really want to see that local dimming coming into action again. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so let's just kind of go through this. The field of view is really nice for a panel like this. The spherical lenses, I'm not quite sure how Pimax have pulled it off, but it's a lot larger, particularly the vertical field of view is very nice. It's pretty much almost your entire vision. The horizontal field of view is about the same as the Aero. I would say perhaps about 102 degrees field of view. Probably even both sides, actually. But it's very much a round display rather than a sort of rectangular display of the Aero. In terms of the colours, I mean, it's the most amazing colours I've ever seen in a VR headset. It's also the most clear, the most crisp headset I've seen as well. Apart from, say, the Vario XR3 and VR3, using the sort of, mini OLED display. If I look closely at those gauges, there's very minimal red shifting. See, I'm not actually paying attention to what I'm doing here in terms of flying. I'm usually much better at flying than this, guys, I promise you. But yeah, it just feels very nice on the eyes. I will say that the auto IPD adjustment, well, it's actually not auto at the moment, but you can manually change it by moving this slider. I will say that the motor sounds a bit weak. It doesn't sound like it's very good quality, so I'm hoping that it's gonna last. But comparing this to the motors of, say, the Pico 4 and the Aero, this does sound, well, it just sounds like it might break at some point. Hopefully that will never happen. It doesn't sound great. So since I've just installed World Update 13, let's go exploring in the glider, shall we? Wow. This has been quite a journey because I've been frustrated and I've been absolutely blown away. In terms of my VR experience, I've been very lucky to try the best of the best. The Vario XR3, and I've come from, say, the Rift CV1 and everything in between. And this is a moment in my sort of VR career, shall we say, that is a turning point yet again. The clarity of this headset is phenomenal. I'm just a bit worried about all the other stuff. I hope they can work out the kinks because this is far from a finished product at the moment. I kind of wish really that they announced the Crystal around now for pre-orders, ready to be perhaps, shipped Q4 this year or something, because I just feel they need a bit more time to iron out all of the issues. But when it's all said and done, when I'm looking at those visuals right now, it's almost like I don't care about all those things, because when it works, it's the best looking VR image I've ever seen in a consumer headset. And it's really nice on the eyes. I mean, this has a wonderful binocular overlap. In fact, the binocular overlap, again, is better than most headsets I've seen. You don't notice that you're looking through two displays. It looks like one singular display. And I'm not straining my eyes at all. I am going to try a full day in this headset, and I reckon I could easily manage it in terms of the comfort, but also because of the amazing clarity. The only thing that does concern me is the performance. With a 13900K RTX 4090, I'm still only getting 25 frames per second. There must be something going on here. Maybe I've got motion smoothing on or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, guys. I'm sure there's something else bogging performance down. It shouldn't be quite this bad, especially somewhere like this. But every tree and every shrub, all of the beautiful buildings, the coastline, it is an absolute sight to behold. Wow, it's incredible. It really is an amazing display. So, a shaky start for the Pimax Crystal. But right now, I don't want to be in any other headset, quite honestly. The only thing is, what's it going to be like to live with? Because I'm now going to use this as my daily driver for quite a while now, and I'm going to learn more about it and hopefully get this thing working correctly, because At the time it's recording, I can't just switch it on and off. It'll just sort of bug out and I'll have to take the cable out and all that kind of thing. But if you look past that, if there is a future past that, which I hope so, because Pimax, if you're listening to this, and I know you are, please get all these things sorted out, and you have got an absolute winner on your hands here. You really have. Oh, this is spectacular. And the mirror is just not an issue. I'm looking at that sky. I probably forgot to mention a ton of things here because my emotions are running now, guys. My emotions are getting to me because I'm just experiencing this for the first time on camera, and even in this silly little glider just doing nothing, it does feel like another step up. Another huge step for clarity. But you've also got that nice field of view as well. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I'm sorry about the frame rate. It is pretty bad, actually. Still at about 25 frames per second. I'm going to look into that and find out what's causing that. But yeah, please do let me know in the comments what you want to see. This is a very exciting time on the channel. And, you know, I'm going to test this headset out, show you plenty of content, and, you know, take you with me on this journey. But my first impressions, whilst quite frustrating in many areas, when it's all said and done, when I'm looking through this screen right now, it is absolutely jaw-dropping. Properly jaw-dropping. I can't say that enough. It looks incredible. Really, really amazing. So there we are. That is my first impressions of the Pimax Crystal. And just to say a massive thank you to Pimax for sending this out. Although, as you can see, my opinions are all my own, as always. I do think this has huge potential, and in many ways, I cannot believe the display in this thing is absolutely off the scale. I was not expecting it. As you can see, I even was lost for words, which is quite rare for me. And I do appreciate there were some things in the video that you'll have questions about, and that's great because this is the start of a new series. And as you can see from the video, it was very much a raw reaction. And sorry about the audio, by the way. The microphone on the Crystal is actually the best I've ever heard, but for some reason, I was getting some issues with it during that recording. It wasn't popping because of the signal. It was just, again, due to the software. So I hope Pimax can really knuckle down, get these things sorted out. I will be following along very closely. For now, can I recommend this? That's a tricky question, guys, because I think unless you are a tinkerer and you don't mind messing with settings and feeling a bit frustrated, if you want to just get straight into the VR experience, there is more rounded VR headsets out there with better software, a better package, better plug and play experiences. I think the Varia Aero right now is at the top of the game, but the clarity of this is something that has to be respected without a doubt. So yeah, interesting times. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I truly appreciate it. Please feel free to subscribe. I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.